Hello, welcome to the Q for January 1941, turn 10 for Germany, and this is Operation from Russia with Love. Before we look at the buy here and roll some tech dice, I'm going to voice my opinion because I'm sure everyone has an opinion. We've got a move here that I don't agree should be legal. I mean, I see where they're taking the rules from two different parts of the rule book to say that this is a legal move. Certainly you can place a fighter on map, a maritime air patrol. And if you're unfamiliar with, what that term really is, I mean, you can Google map and it'll come up with, modern day map, as well as you'd have to Google World War II maps to see what it was really about. And it's really about naval movements. In World War II, it was really about subs. So how a plane on map, even though it's a fighter, can block air movement, I think that's a stretch. I'm going to just lay it out there. That's just what it is. I don't like that rule, and maybe you do. That's fine. We all have opinions. And now I'm going to get off the soapbox and let's move on. All right, so the buy is a little weird here. Well, first off, we've got, we were convoy damaged for 2, so that takes us down to $62 to spend. I don't have an Iraq mark, but we're going to move, when Vichy flipped all to German, that makes these 2 German. So we're going to go up 2 for Iraq. So let's move up. And I already moved up for the Vichy territories and then down for the one that, I guess there was 2, right, that Germany or Britain took away. So now to start the turn with Iraq, Germany is sitting at $51. The buy is a little janky because there is a tech roll that is successful. I have to change to switch out these subs. But what we're going to go if we don't get it for our $62, we're going to lend lease Italy a fighter. Yeah, that's true. They joined the war, which is why this buy looks really weird, because we're going to spend this turn helping Italy, and then they're going to have to swim for their own, I guess. So we're going to lend lease Italy a fighter. We're going to finish off the battleship and 3 subs, and those are all 5 each with the improved construction. Oh, you know what? The airbase would also, oh no, I'm fast building the airbase. That's why it's 6. So those there for $21. So that's $26. 20 for the ships and then 6 for the fast build of that airbase. That's why it's not discounted. We've got 5 for deploying the Deutsches African Corps, and look at them right there. That is going to Africa, and that is some cool stuff. First time to see action for me in Global War 36. I've used them in BBR games where Germany sends stuff down to help Italy out, but we're going to do that again this turn. So we're going to move on to a German fighter for 10, 5 militia for 10, and that has 1 left over. And let's roll some tech dice. I'm going to get rid of this Vichy recruitment roll because it doesn't exist anymore. So we'll throw that over there. All right, so radar is new. Where is improved factories? Oh, improved factories could be completed too. So that'll be the 2 7s. And then, of course, these 2 here are 1 step away from being completed. So let's go with the 2 7s first. We'll take that 2 away. All right, so the red is radar, and it is both failures. All right, not good. All right, so I need white and green, and white will be advanced subs. Long-range aircraft is green. 10 and a 3. So we don't have to change our buy, but long-range aircraft is huge. That gives me some extended range right here. So while we did get 1 out of 3, we got the 1 I really want. Well, I wanted advanced subs because I want I wanted to put those on the board, but we'll keep our buy as is, and we're going to save $1. So let's clear out our cash, and that's the $1 we saved. There'll be no more Vichy money. That's our bonus, which will go up 2 now because we have Iraq. So I'm going to put $2 under there right now. And then the Molotov-Ribbentrop money is still available because I'm not attacking Russia. Now, they may attack me, but and then it'll go away. So that doesn't come until the end of U.S. turn anyway. So there's the one we saved. All right, so let's move on to some attacks. And before we do, we have to praise our Italian brethren because they convoy raided in one turn 6 IPPs, which is, I think, more than I've convoyed the whole game. So, congrats to you guys. First off, we're getting the heck out of Dodge here. If Japan wants to convoy them, go right ahead, but I'm tired of failing there, so we're going to come out of P50. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to hit where these 2 lines conclude there in I-4. And, oh my gosh, that sub is so far away. I'm going to try and lean without crushing the Germans. All right, so he is in A40, I'm upside down, A54. So he'll come up 1, 2, 3 to A48. And this other sub, I was kind of wondering if I should convoy raid or sneak on into the med. If I would have got advanced subs, I would have stayed there because that would be a +1 for both those subs. But since I didn't, I wonder, I don't know. I'll have to, it's one of those things where it's like, well, even though he's got a plane there that could come out and get that, I think we will. So that'll be a non-com. So we're take this convoy off. So only one sub is convoying there. I pulled another convoy off that I was going to do because I want to try and sneak around these guys. So these 2 subs, and I'm going to move them now so I don't forget, are just going to come from A34, 1, 2, 3, into A19. I could convoy raid, but US would get 2 dice back at me, and then there would be that attack. So we're going to try and see if we can sink a British destroyer on the attack, because every British ship that goes down is glory. All right, so we have a sub here in A29. He'll come up 1 to A21. The seaplane will come up, and we'll do that convoying again. So far, the seaplane is the most effective convoying tool for me, which is sad, beyond sad. All right, so the African Corps is deployed at the end, so I'll put that there with the Lend-Lease. There is an idea, and since I got long range, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something else. But I didn't need long range, so we're going to take 2 fighters. We're going to take that Romanian fighter, and I don't know which, this one. And we're going to slap some African Corps colors on those dogs. Get in there a little close there. So, ooh, yeah, okay, all right. All right, so they are coming out of the 7th Division here, which is in Paris at an air base. 1, 2, 3, 4 into French Morocco, and they have a movement of 1 left. But now that I have long-range aircraft, I'm thinking I should have changed the battle, but then that would, see, now that's the downside of playing YouTube, because with long-range aircraft, I could send a buttload of stuff here to kill that transport, and if he wanted to scramble, fine, I could kill that too. If this was a live game, I would switch. So anyway, they would have 2 left now, I guess. So those switch. So those 2 are attacking. I've got a fighter already here in northern Algeria, which will come over. And now it will have 5 left. And we're going to send 1 infantry. And we're just going to see if we can get rid of that, because there's not really a lot here in Gibraltar. I don't think he can siphon that off and go somewhere else without risking losing Gibraltar. But he might, you never know. So that's an attack there. We're going to roll some dice. That's non-com. Let's move up here. All right, so we've got 2 attacks here on the European, or the Eastern Front, and set this down. We're going to hit East Poland, which gives Russia a D12, but they are only 4 away from being at full income, so I don't think it matters. All right, so we've got a tank coming out of Warsaw. It's a medium armor, and we got one here from Eastern Germany. It's coming 1, 2. So that'll be 2 tanks. It's defended by a militia. We're going to bring... Oh, you know what I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to pull units off the board for the African Corps here. You pay $5 as a max to send, and this is the max that you can send here. 3 infantry, a motorized, 2 artillery, light tank, a medium tank. So I got to pull that off the board before we get going here. So I need 3 infantry. Sorry for the interruption, but if I don't do it now, I'll forget and move them in combat. So there's 1 infantry from Bulgaria. We're going to take 1 infantry from Romania. And where was that 3rd one coming from? Oh, Bavaria. So that's 3 infantry that are off the board. The light tank is in Bavaria. The medium tank, I guess we'll break this chip down. So instead of 4 tanks in Romania, there'll be 3. So let me get, here's 2 tanks and 2 chips. Well, that wouldn't be right. So there was 4 there, now there's 3. So I don't need, you know what, I don't need that chip. Let's just, so now we're down to 3 tanks. All right. What do we got? We got a motorized, which is in Romania as well. So we're kind of bleeding Romania here a little bit. All right, so what have I got left? I've got 2 artilleries. We are going to take 1 from Warsaw here. And then the other one will come off of the 7th Panzer here in Paris. All right, so there's our units that we pull off for the African Corps. 3 infantry. That was a medium tank. Motorized, light tank, 2 artillery. All right, so all that basically goes into the place units phase with the Lend-Lease, and then it goes across the sea to an Italian port. So I could go to Tripoli or Tobruk. I wish I could go to Syria. That's where I want to go. That would be really cool. All right, but I think it has to be an Italian port. You know what? No, we had that flipped. I was going to say if that flipped when they went Vichy, then Italy should have taken that, but we already had a guy there. All right, never mind. Back to the combat. All right, so we had moved 2 armor into East Poland. So we're going to take 3 cavalry. All right, so are we going to do that? We're not, you know what? I think we'll leave the cavalry. Let's take the artillery. And the artillery from Romania. So that's 1 from Warsaw, 1 from Romania. We're going to take 3 infantry. And I believe, you know what? We'll take another tank from Romania. It's kind of convoluted here, but I've kind of lost my train of thought with that Africa Corps thing. So going in after these cavalry is these 2 armor from Romania. So we're changing here on the fly. Sorry about that. I'm going to change this chip out. It was 3 infantry. I'm only going to bring 2. So hopefully, yep, I got a guy over here. So here's 2 infantry that came from Bessarabia. That leaves 2 in Bessarabia. And then we're going to non-com 1 into Romania. All right, so there's that. We've got 2 armor and 2 cavalry. The cavalry come from Yugoslavia. And we're going into, what is this, Hungary. Take out that cavalry. All right. So let me take that ship off. So that leaves 3 cavalry in Yugoslavia that have not moved. All right. So that's the 2 combats here in Europe. Trying to think, it's just a militia, right? I don't know if I have another cavalry sculpt, but we'll take 2 cavalry out of Warsaw in there as well. And that's a cavalry, I'm looking to see, I think I've used my last German cavalry. Let me get one of these neutral ones. All right, so we'll put that on there. All right. So we had 4 cavalry, or did we? Now I'm starting to wonder if we had 4. Did I take the chip off? I got an extra chip over here on the side. Well, I'll have to look back and see if there was 3 cavalry. I think there was 3 cavalry in Warsaw. So I'll put it here and I'll look later and see if it was 3 or 4 cavalry. Anyway, 2 are going into there, 2 infantry, 2 artillery, 3 tanks. All right, I keep changing it up because I didn't have it 100% marked. So we're going to bring 1 cavalry in from Warsaw. Sorry for the confusion here. And this cavalry actually from Bulgaria can go 1, 2. All right. So I'm wondering now if that's going to work. Trying to think about defense from this stack here. I mean, it's just a bunch of 2s, but you never know. You never know what can happen there. So I'm going to move them into Warsaw then, maybe. Such confusion. I hate it when you change things. You put things on the board and then you change them, and it's like a domino effect. It just starts, you know, spreading out. All right, I think that's it. So let's roll. I don't see any more combats. We got 1, 2, 3 land combats, and we're going to throw in some convoy rating. Hopefully we can match this, or maybe exceed it. That would be great. All right, so put this over here. Let me put the big board over here. All right, so let me grab the convoy dice so we can do that first. So this will be down here in I-4, the sub that hasn't rated a single dime this whole game. And red is British, and it's the same dice. I'm not gonna change dice. I probably should, but crust. All right, so now we are off the coast of Africa in A48, and I did forget to mention that Britain has radar and Germany has a sub, so it's dead even. There's no modifiers. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm done with that dice. I am absolutely done with it. Matter of fact, I'm done with that dice. We're going to switch it up, and we're going to go to red as the attacker, and green is the defender. We got to change this convoy game. All right, so our last two convoy spots will be here in A21. We've got a regular sub, which will be even, and then we'll have that seaplane, which will be -1 in the modifiers. All right, so let's do the seaplane first because he's been successful. All right, see? That's a 1. So that goes to a 3. That goes to a 5. $2. All right, we're going to have to get 4 with this last sub to match. All right, so next up, 5. Even. So we got 3. So it was the dice. What a load. All right, so that means we've convoyed the Britain for $5. It doesn't really matter which one of those lines because there's no one else that can come in and convoy before Britain, or the end of the year, I guess. All right, so 3 here, or 5 there, 6 there, so that's $11 down for England. That's a good day. Good day at the office. How about those dice being cursed? Is that weird? I'm going to save these guys. We're going to use those the rest of the game. All right, so that was all off. All right, so let's roll this battle here, which will be 1 infantry and 3 fighters versus the, where's my dice? Versus the British infantry. And we're just trying to take the infantry out. I don't really care about the territory. All right, so the red dice will be the infantry and the greens will be the fighters. So only 1 hit because it's mountain, so that infantry would have had to have been a 1. All right, so the British infantry defends at a 4. And that's a 12, so we do take the territory. Not that that was the goal. The goal was just to get rid of that guy. Throw him over there. All right, the next battle is 1 cavalry in Hungary. So I got 2 armor, 2 cavalry. And that does seem a little light. All right, so we'll roll the cavalry first at 3. Oh, dang. The armor, medium armor, is at 6. So we got 2 hits with the medium armor. All right, so the cavalry will roll at a 2. And that's a 9. So, all right, cavalry is gone. So far, so good. In the last battle, we've got in East Poland a 2 artillery. I was trying to think what was going on, and I start knocking stuff over. So 2 artillery at a first strike, and they'll be at a 3. There's a 1, so that battle is over. Just 1 militia there. All right. So I'm going to set this down. Go to the income marker. We're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 away from Britain and give 4 to Germany. And if we do that every turn, this game will be great. So 55 and 24. So that means they're behind. Oh, yeah, they should be behind their income because Italy took original British territory. So that's where they should be. But you know what? They took 1 there. So maybe I might be off on that marker. Oh, no, they took Cyprus as well. Well, Britain keeps track of its money officially, so I'm just trying to keep track for my own self. I may be off by a point there. All right, combat is done. Yeah. All right, so we're going to move this seaplane off of maritime patrol, but we're going to go into Normandy. I knew it was Normandy. I just didn't think about it. All right, so let's land some planes. Down here we have 2 fighters that came from Paris, and they will land in northern Algeria. That marker off of there. Infantry there. I got 1 fighter that has 5 left, so he'll come out 1, 2, 3, 4 into Syria. And while I'm in Syria, this infantry from northern Iraq will walk into Syria. All right, anything else on the south side? Oh yeah, I got a transport. We're going to use strategic naval movement from M2. So we'll come up 1, grab an infantry, 2, 3. Wow, how did I have that figured out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can move 5. I just had the dice at 4. Why did I think that was 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it doesn't matter because 5 works too. So he'll go in port with that Italian destroyer and drop that guy off in Syria. All right, so now let's get all that off the table. While we're here in the mid, we are going to take this destroyer into Sea Zone M2. We're going to take our battleship, which is at a major facility. 1, 2, 3, and we'll go in port here with all these Italian ships. So they're basically all in port here in northern Italy on the backside. Out of range of the aircraft. And then we'll see what Italy's going to do with their fleet on this next turn, because I don't want to hang out in port all game. That's kind of boring. All right, that leaves 2 guys there. Oh yeah, that sub that did not convoy, which since I got that new dice, I probably should have convoyed. He's going to come up, or is he? Maybe I'll just stay there, huh? You know what? We'll come up 1. Okay, he's safe, yeah. That way, if I do get advanced subs next turn, I can go back and we can double up and get extra modifiers. All right, so get our red markers off so I know what's going on here. And after all that confusing movements there, I'll have to give a recap. All right, so we're going to take 1 infantry from West Poland and walk into Warsaw. Well, let's take the chip so it's easy. All right. All right, so here we're going to rail this guy, but these 2 infantry in Yugoslavia are going to march into northern Italy. We're going to rail this Hungarian infantry all the way down here to the boot of Italy. These 3 cavalry will go 1, 2, 3 into Rome. All right, so we're railing this mountain infantry to Rome because it's a mountainous territory. And I think I may change my mind on this other rail destination for this infantry in Bavaria. All right, so we're railing this anti-aircraft gun from Western Germany to Normandy. And actually, we're going to move this whole 7th Panzer marker there. So I'm going to put it on this marker here. The only thing not moving in there is this light armor. It'll stay there in Paris. All right, and so we're going to rail this infantry from Bavaria into Normandy. Put it on the marker. We've got an infantry in Aquitaine. We'll march up 1. Put it on the marker there in Normandy. We've got a paratrooper in Alsace-Lorraine going into Paris. We've got 2 self-propelled artillery coming 1, 2 from Bavaria to Paris. Basically, we're trying to avoid any sneaky paratrooper crazy liberate Paris moves. All right. What else do we have? That marker's done. So I'm taking quite a lot of time here for very little battles, so sorry about that. All right, so we got this ships in port that were in Hamburg. They're going to flip around and come in port here. It's the Sea Zone A11. So we're going to put them all in port there. And that will be 2 torpedo boat destroyers, 2 transports, coastal defense ship, battle cruiser, destroyer, and then the coastal sub that was an A-11, because of the sub base, will go 1, 2. It'll be like a year before he gets in position. We had other plans for him, but we're going to do something different now. All right, so they're all in port. We got 2 Marines. All right, we're moving 2 Marines over, so we've got 4 Marines there. We're moving 1 Marine, not 1 Marine, 1 regular infantry. Actually, we're going to move 2 regular infantry out of Western Germany into Eastern Germany. Get that train marker out of there as we've used those. All right, so that leaves our fighter dispensation here. All right, so this Romanian fighter will fly from Western Germany into Normandy, and that'll be 2. So another fighter will also follow, so that we have 3 planes for a scramble. So those will be in Normandy. The 2 fighters that are left will head over to Paris. There's an airfield there. All right, so now we're going to split up our bombing force here and go give us some flexibility here. So we'll move 1 strategic bomber from Western Germany to Paris. The medium bomber will fly from Western Germany to Normandy. All right, so we're going to take 1 air transport and 1 paratrooper out of Western. And where are we going with it? I had 2 options. I think we're going to go to Syria. So with advanced or long-range aircraft, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. We can do some good down there. All right, so is that the extent of my moves? I got that other air transport that I could go somewhere else. Or leave it there. If I move it to Paris, I've got some better flexibility with it. So do it, don't do it. Don't do it, man. All right, indecision. Indecision. I think I'll leave it there. Because if I don't use these bombers for bombing next turn, I can use them with the paratroopers. I'll have pretty good range with that one. All right, we're going to leave it as is. I think we've got all our movements. I'm looking to see if there's any markers or any chaos. That would be anywhere. All right, so I can take that off because we convoy rated. Those are off. All right, I think we're at placing units here. All right, so the air base going right here into Normandy. 3 subs, which I was hoping to get advanced subs, but saved me $3. They'll all drop here into A21 because we have a major shipyard. And the good thing there is they can attack 2 of those only. So those other 2 do not have to submerge. So yeah, good news for that. So that gives us a decent force here in the Atlantic. I think we're done here with Italy. Oh, we got the battleship going to place here at this major shipyard in port with everyone else. These are not in port because they would have to go here at that sub base, which I guess it looks like I didn't end up needing. All right, so we'll do Lend-Lease last. We've got, that's $5. I don't get that tank, although is that a better looking tank than this one? It looks a little cleaner. Oh, it is. I got numbers on the turret there. You probably can't see it, but that's a cooler tank. All right, so this one, put it off over there. All right, that leaves a German fighter, which goes in Paris. So that gives me another 3-plane scramble on a 3-plane scramble, or 3-plane defense. So I've got 5 militia, and then the Lend-Lease and the African Corps. So let's do our militia. We've got this zone we want for sure in Syria. We want one here in northern Algeria for sure. We're going to do a block here in Chad, and those are actually German territories. So Chad gets a militia, and I don't know what that is. I can't believe, there's no way I can read that upside down and pronounce that right. So those 2 militia there. So I got 1 militia left, which I think probably should go here in this open spot in Tunis, just so there's no cheesy walk-ons. Got to help out Italy, help out myself, I guess. So the Lend-Lease obviously comes out of Germany, goes right here into northern Italy, which, you know, is at an air base. That's nice. Then we've got our African Corps, and I'm going to leave it on this card and just use the marker. So I will set those. Oh, look at that, how they look good in the desert. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this 21st Panzer Division is being formed. Where's the marker? All right, and we get to go to an Italian port, which will go in here at Tobruk, and then see some action next turn, right? So I think that's it. We got a recruitment roll for Spain. Let's do that before we collect our money. It's a miss. It was supposed to, yeah, I was trying to think, it was a 6, so that was a miss. So Spain missed. All right, so 1's what we saved. So let's pull all this money off. All right, so, you know, I had a different German battleship on that build queue over there. I'll put it on there later. Take that generic one off. All right, so they saved the buck. Our bonus income will now be 8 because we're going to add Iraq, right? Yeah, northern. Oh, as I'm looking on the little chart there, it's Transcaucasia, or southern Iran, or northern Iraq. So I guess southern Iraq means nothing. That's interesting. All right, so anyway, 8 is our bonus. 5 maybe at the end of the turn. So let's look at our income here of 55. So let's just get some big cash out. There's 50, 55, plus the one we saved, plus the 8, and a possibly 5 more at the end of the turn. And that should be it for Germany. I'll do a recap of some of the funky areas that moved around. In Normandy is 3 fighters, AA gun, 2 infantry, tactical bomber, medium bomber, artillery, 2 self-propelled artillery, 2 medium armor. In Paris, 2 self-propelled artillery, 3 fighters, paratrooper, light tank, and a strategic bomber. Western Germany, 4 Marines, 3 paratroopers, air transport, strategic bomber. What else would be different? Warsaw, 4 infantry, 2 cavalry. East Poland, 2 cavalry, 2 infantry, 2 artillery, 3 medium armor. That's pretty self-explanatory there. In northern Italy, we added 2 infantry. In Rome, we added a mountain infantry and 3 cavalry. And southern Italy, we added a infantry. Syria, we have 3 infantry, 1 paratrooper, 1 militia, 1 fighter, 2 air transports, and a couple ships in port. Last interesting thing is Tobruk. 3 infantry, 1 motorized, 2 artillery, 1 light tank, 1 medium tank. All right, that will be the end of this turn. Yep, we're good. Russia is up next, where they will probably most likely hit wartime or full-time income, I guess. It's called something different here. Income, I don't even know what that means. Looking at that, neutrals, income neutrals. That means something, but it's full-time income is what it really means. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.